Hey guys, Black Templar here again. Next video, here we go. So I got something in the mail today. It's right here. It's kind of a big box. Actually not really big, but it's the normal size, I would suppose. And if I could find me knife, here we are. Find me knife. It cracked open. I'm gonna open this shizzle up. Now, I have been waiting for this for more than a while. It isn't hard to find or anything. It's just time wouldn't permit this sort of project until recently, now that I got some time off. And oh, that's cool. Here's what we got. This is a War Machine Khador Berserker. This is a beast of a machine. I gotta move a couple things. I have a collection of lighters for work. I don't actually smoke. I carry lighters around at work because people are always asking for a light and shizzle. So, this is a full metal kit by Privateer Press. This came out to $22. Shipping, tax, all that bull snap. 22 bucks for this. This is I think this is an older model. Let's have a look. I'm sure there's a year. 2006, yeah, not quite brand new, but this doesn't actually have a second sculpt. This is the first sculpt of this unit. I think the phone's ringing, but I'm not going to answer because I don't give two fucks. So, like I said, I have been waiting for this since I started War Machine. I don't play Khador, but forever and ever have I wanted to do this model. If there was a single model that got me into War Machine at all, this was it. And it's kind of strange that I didn't actually pick one up. I read about it and saw it in some magazines and like read the rules on it and stuff. And the first course I said I don't, back in the day I didn't really know the rules to the game or how to play the game. I was kind of intrigued, but I've been wanting to get this since I started War Machine, and now I finally have one, and I'm so psyched. You can probably tell. So this is, like I said, full metal kit. This is mostly, yeah, okay, so this is your bigger pieces here. These are your smaller bits here, and then these are your smallest things here, just in the corner, like your head and your smokestack kind of deals here, and your spiky bits and such. And so, let's go ahead and crack this open so we can see what's inside. Our standard large base. Big old mean axe arm. Have a good look at that. I like that. That's cool as fuck. Big old mean axe arm. Get that to focus in on there. We got nice broad shouldered body. This is it's a torso. All these spikes that are here, you can see these little deals here. If I can get that to look at that. Those little spikes go in the pegs and on the shoulders. Actually, there's no pegs, and I kind of like that. It has smooth shoulders, but you can also put the spikes on. That's kind of nice. It's optional. And you can put the spikes however you want. You can put them linear. You can put them all randomized. That's kind of cool. I like that. The older models kind of show that sort of customization. Then we got the big old shoulder blocks here. These are pretty mean looking too. Oh, this is the sick axe. So you got the arm here. This is the other arm. But it's got the other axe handle. It's where you can put it, if I can get this to angle right. So you can put it at any certain angle that you would like and have it facing any of those different ways, which is really handy. Here's the midsection. This is the engine block. I kind of don't like, and this is the only complaint I have about the entire model, and I'll get to this here. I got this picture here. Now, here's the engine block. You can see it just there, right there. The engine the smokestacks at least, kind of pokes out kind of high. Like, I don't like how it's pretty, the model itself for a Khador is kind of low to the ground. You got this big set of smokestacks that kind of protrude awkwardly out of the back. Not a big deal. I've thought about cutting this piece of shit up and lowering it, but I mean, for the amount of, oh man, looking at that and the amount of metal that's involved with that, I mean, I'm gonna need a fat bone saw, and I don't think I'm gonna be getting to do that. So I guess we'll just have to live with it. Not, like I said, a big problem. Less aesthetically pleasing for myself though, because I do feel like it kind of protrudes out there quite far. But that's pretty much all the bits. Here's the head, man. He looks mean. He does. He's got this huge spike on the front of his head. You get a good contrast. He's got his face, and he's got that big old spike there. So, a little bit about this. Khador produces only, and I do say only because it's They have no light warjacks. They produce only heavy warjacks. This actually is the lightest thing that Khador makes, and it's still tougher than most of the heavy warjacks and even the Signa army. Khador is renowned for making big asshole meaning destructive machines. These things are the best, or not the best. They are the biggest and the most aggressive warjacks in the game. And this this thing is just too cool. Let me read you some of the rules real fast here. Okay, so it's aggressive. Aggressive means it can run and charge without spending focus and without being forced. So it can essentially just do most of its movement and its aggressive attacks for free. It's got, let me skip one here so I can read the next one. It's got chain attack, brutality. So its brutality is its special chain attack. And usually weapons or units that have two of the same weapons have a chain attack. So brutality means that you can, if you hit the initial model that you're aiming at with one of your weapons, after you hit, you can make a free headbutt, which is pretty brutal, obviously. So that's kind of cool. And then this is what makes it just cool. So it's got the last special rule, which is unstable. At the end of your turn, essentially, if you spent more than one focus, and that's why aggressive makes all this stuff free, if you spent more than one focus, you have to roll a d6. If you make or get less than the number of focus plus your d6, or excuse me, if you make or equal less than the number of focus spent, so if you spent, let's say you spent one focus to make an extra attack, and then you spent like one focus to boost the attack, so you spent two focus. When you roll your d6, because you spent over one focus, of course, if you make less than or 2 on a d6, the model explodes. It's just like, it's gonna run up, and then you're gonna make it do all kinds of crazy stuff, and then it's gonna blow up, and so it's just like, it's such a, this is one of those jacks that's full of character. It's got one less Cortex box too, because the fluff for this thing, let me see if I can get you to see that. See how it's got 2 C's in the middle there? Usually right next to that empty box in the middle of the column, there would be another C, because most jacks have 3 C's for their Cortex. The Cortex being, of course, the brain of the machine. This thing only has 2, because it's kind of dumb. It's not so much dumb as it is old, though. Berserkers in Khador are, I think every Berserker is over 130 years old. They're like the first warjack that Khador produced. For good reason, too, because, I mean, these things are pretty brutal. They're not too bright, you know. They only got the 2 Cortex boxes. They just have axes, you know. They're not meant to do anything but annihilate infantry or annihilate other jacks. They're not meant to support or provide arcing fire, you know. They're not meant to provide defensive, you know, avenues. They're just meant to do horrible things. That's so cool about it, man. It's just like a big angry asshole. And so I've thought about doing a series on this. I really want to. I probably am, to be honest. I don't think I'm even going to have to try and get a consensus. I think this is something that I've been wanting to do for quite a while. So I think I'm going to actually make a series out of this. But in the meantime, I'm going to sit here and stare at this card and just laugh for a couple of minutes because it's just too cool, man. It's just like, it is just too cool. And nothing in Signar is as cool as the Berserker. I'm sorry. Like, I mean, it is not overall, it is not a great Khador jack. It's got a very low power and strength. It's got 1 point of armor lower than the standard. It's got 2 less health boxes lower than the standard. Obviously, it's missing a Cortex box, so it's got 3 less boxes, as a matter of fact. So it's not great. Not something to write home about, but it is dirt cheap. Most warjacks in Khador cost 6 points, or 9 points. This only costs 6 points. So you could get 2 of these for 12 points, or you could get 2 of any other jack in Khador and spend, you know, 18 points, which is a big deal, because 4 points can get you a unit of like 5 guys and a leader, and like 5 normal troops and a leader. So that's kind of a big deal. These things they are dirt cheap. They're pretty decent in close combat, not great power, but a respectable melee attack. They blow up, and they're aggressive, and I mean, it fits my playstyle. Like, I've never really played to my playstyle. Like, I play Signar because Signar is good. I like to shoot, don't get me wrong, but it's just like, there is no satisfaction in War Machine, like running up and smashing somebody in the face a bazillion times, and then free headbutting them, and then after all that, you know, you blow up. I mean, come on, that is just too funny. Anyways, this has been Tech Marine. This is my next project for sure. War Machine, Khador Berserker. Stay tuned for it. Give it a good go. Give it a watch. Let's see if we can get some people watching this shizzle. I'm gonna do the whole thing start to finish, like I did for the Grenadier. So get down on it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Cheers.